What's happening, everybody? Sean Daniel here with Guitar Control. Today we're learning a classic R&B new school song, No Diggity by Blackstreet. It really translates well to acoustic guitar, so make sure you click the link below because I've got all the chords and the lyrics for it, because this is really a great song to match the chords to the lyrics. It's only 4 chords, sounds fantastic, and it just sounds like this. So as you can see, the capo is on the 3rd fret. And let's just run through the chords real quick, then we'll talk a little bit about the strumming pattern. So it starts E minor. What a great place to start a song, right? Start it off easy, work your way into it. Couldn't be any better. Middle finger, 2nd fret of the A string, ring finger, 2nd fret of the D string. Now, you kind of announce the beginning of the song before you go to the next chord. So this is just 2 big downstrokes, okay? Now we're going to move this down a string, go to an A minor, but we're actually mostly going to be using an A minor 7. So it's really just an A minor, 2 D middle finger, 2 G ring finger, 1 B relative to the capo, of course, pointer finger, with your ring finger up like that. Okay, so A minor 7. Now you can kind of go back and forth, as I like to do. So you have like an E minor. Kind of sounds even just that much more kind of acoustic-y, R&B-y when you kind of take away that ring finger to get that A minor 7, A minor kind of back and forth sound to a C major, okay? Which, especially if you're on an A minor 7, super easy. This is exactly the same. Your ring finger just swings around to the 3rd fret of the A string, right? Just like that. And then we're gonna go to a B7, all right? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to transition this shape right here, just a string up. So now my middle finger has gone from 2D to 2A, pointer finger, 1D, ring finger, 2G. And then I'm going to kind of add this bluesy pull on a G note. Again, all this is relative to a capo. This note right here, the 3rd fret relative to the capo, is really a B flat, the 6th fret, but don't worry about that. We're just going to refer to it as the 3rd with a kind of bend in there. And that really resets to the E minor. So again, chord progression is just E minor, A minor 7, C major, B7, with a little bend to get us back to where we started. Now, the thing that I really like about this, because this is in the key of E minor, I would say is the best way to look at this. Anytime you're playing an E minor, the 3rd fret on the low E string is always kind of just really available to you to do all sorts of types of fills and licks. And this is really a great example of it. Because this note is actually in the E minor chord, just played in a different spot. So just kind of adding that in any of the chords is going to give you this kind of bluesy, cool fill that we have going on, right? So let's talk a little bit about the main strumming of each of those. Like I said, that first E minor is just 2 downstrokes. This is kind of a down, up, down, down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay? So when I say down, up, down, down, it's really 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay? It's a really good habit to get into, to have your downstrokes be the number of the count and the upstrokes be the word and. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Alright, now you notice it's not 1 and 2, 3, 4. It's 1 and 2, 3, 4, which is a little bit different. And that kind of has a cool R&B type vibe to that strumming. E minor. Okay, right there. What it is, I'm kind of grabbing the middle of the chord first on that first downstroke, and then upstroke the higher strings. Maybe just the B and the E is what I'm aiming for. If I get more than that, no big deal. If I get less than that, no big deal. 1 and 2. The 2 count is going to be the exact same thing as before. 1 and 2, 3. That 3 is going to be the big one, where I get most of the chord in. 1 and 2, 3. And then on the 4 count, it's just going to be the root note-ish downstroked. 1 and 2, 3, 4. And then because I'm really taking that 3, that is signifying where a snare hit would be on a drum kit. Because usually a drum kit is like a kick, 2, 3, 4, kick, 2, 3, 4. We want that 3 to stand out a little bit when you're doing any kind of acoustic representation where the backbeat of a drum kit would be on the 3. So, you can play this as simply as you want to, just like a E minor, A minor, C major, B7. But I think it sounds cool when you start incorporating a little bit of extra stuff to it, right? So again, we're taking it from that 1 and 2, 3, 4 of the A minor 7. Now we're going to go to that C chord. Now we can kind of get the same thing if we want. 1 and 2, 3, 4. But really just kind of think about it how it sits in relation to everything else. That first one was kind of down, like a little softer. 1, 2, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Like that. Right? If we pull back the strumming, again, we're not changing the tempo at all. That's kind of a common misconception. Usually songs don't change tempos, they just kind of change vibes. So we're pulling back. So by the time we get to that B7, we're kind of emphasizing the dominant 7 nature of that chord. And again, the B7 is this middle finger 2A, pointer finger 1D, ring finger 2G. And then we're gonna add that guy right there, okay? Now, I think this is really important to kind of think of what fingers you use. Down, up, down, up, down. Get that bend with your ring finger. See how my ring finger kind of abandons its spot here to go to that bend? Now, also too, you'll notice that the strumming on that 4th chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E. Right? That's the busiest strum that I've had yet. And because that chord is the last chord in the progression, a 4-chord progression, and also because it's a dominant 7, it's an extended chord, it's kind of asking the progression to do something. When you just leave something, it's begging to be resolved, in this case, home to the E minor, right? So the more action we put on that B7, the more resolution just feels appropriate when we get back to that E minor chord, right? So we have E minor, A7, A minor 7, C, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E. Always notice that the busiest chord is going to be that 4th bar where that B7 is. And then you can always choose to grab that 3rd fret and give it a big bend and come back. Really, it's up to you how you want to play it. But it's really a song that's open to a lot of different strumming interpretations because it is kind of an R&B song. So we're just using an acoustic guitar, you can play it on electric too, to kind of make a version of the song. And I think it's important to kind of think of how the original song sounded with the production and everything, with the drums, and also to the piano, the da 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 da. That's kind of an acoustic representation of that. So really just kind of be thoughtful about the chords, how you play them differently. Even that E minor, instead of just going 1, 2, 1 and 2, 3, 4, I like to kind of pick through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a little bit different, where I'm just hitting the root note, the A string, that 3, and then back to the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E. You can also use space. I think effectively using space is another thing that any acoustic guitar song is a really good opportunity to practice something like that, specifically with this one, because that turnaround, that B7 to that E, is something that can get kind of repetitive after doing it a lot of times. That's a good place to experiment with different things, whether it's or just maybe one hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, E. So again, really simple song to learn, only 4 chords, you can repeat it. It doesn't really ever change, and it sounds good, especially as just kind of like a way to practice your strumming, your picking, how you can choose to take each chord within a progression. And again, all of the chords have an even amount of time. So this is something that you can experiment with, and it's going to be really good for your strumming, and you can use these tips and tricks to any song that you do end up playing on acoustic guitar or anything else. So definitely thanks for checking out the video. Let us know if you have any questions, and make sure to click on any of these other surrounding videos by myself and other great guitar instructors here on the Guitar Control channel. We'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.